What's up, gang? Hope you're doing well. This video is a little different, a little quirky, get a little wacky. You guys, quite a few of you been asking why don't I show my highlights or my game films, and I'm gonna be honest, the reason is it's a little cringy. A little cringy. It's hard for me now that I'm done playing to go back and watch myself. Used to love watching myself all the time when I was playing, because you can learn from it, you can improve, you can get better. It's really hard for me to watch myself now because I can't do anything about it. So just the way I gotta live with whatever's there. So this is actually my very first season. This is my highlights from my very first season, and almost all of them are just going to be the home games. One thing that I guess people my age probably notice more so than most is like, we didn't really get game film or have access to video like everyone does now. So that's one thing I wish was a little bit better. I wish I would have documented more of my journey and been into content while I was playing. It's also really hard to do, but yeah, so most of this is going to be, I think, all home games or whatever. But anyways, we'll get into it. And also, I don't know how much there's going to be to break down. It's just going to be, like I said, a lot of cringe. I used to get up a little bit though. Also, I'm gonna mute this. Yeah, we'll just mute it. This year also, I wasn't very good at, so the forwards and backwards doesn't work like it does on YouTube. I wasn't very good with my left hand either this first year. So almost everything I do is going to be trying to go as right as possible. And I just noticed that here. I just noticed that here. In and out, dribble, pick up, get to the basket, absorb the contact. Never going to call a foul. Oh, and you can also, overseas, you can also hit the ball while it's on the rim. So you might see that a couple times this video. Guys jumping up and hitting the ball. Maybe not. Oh, another thing. Hey. Oh, that's my guy. That's my big guy. Another thing, my shot used to be really flat too my first year. A little no-looker. A little no-look pass there. Nice. This guy, he's a legend over there in Australia. Wears number 44 because he's 44 years old. He played until he was like, I think he might have played till he's like 48, 46 or something. But he was legit. There's quite a few D1 guys on this court right now. Yeah, it's so hard to watch. Like, my shot used to look completely different. Oh, another no-look pass. I like it. It's one of my best friends, actually, right here. Went to the same college. Yeah, this is my shot was so flat. Ugh. And you can see why, right? Like, I used to shoot like this a little bit. Like, so the ball, the arc of the basketball kind of wanted to do that because I'm shooting it here. I got much better as I got older. Strong fingers really fixed it for me. Loaded wrist really fixed it for me to where I'm shooting more like this rather than I had soft fingers, soft hands, and I'd shoot like this. Mainly because I was a mid-range jump shooter. So it didn't matter mid-range. Once I moved out to the three, especially here, because the three-point line is further than what I was used to over in America. My shot used to be super flat. The spin was gross. Ugh, I hate it. I'm still shooting though. I'm still getting them up. Comedy. Was that one here? It's hard. I can't tell if I'll have any where I'm like hitting the ball off the rim, but I did it quite a bit. Oh, you can't tell. Yeah, it made rebounds a lot easier though, because you didn't have to see if it was going to hit the rim or not. You could just jump up and I don't think this one was close. but you can just jump up and tap the ball in, just because once it hits the rim, you can goaltend. Hey, this is what I mean. Like, just there's so much contact that they just let go overseas. That over here in America, like, it's definitely would be a foul, but it's just normal. That looked worse than what it actually was because he just stepped on his teammate's shoe. But we're gonna keep it in there. Similar to, this is not great spacing, like you can see by our team, but we talk about this a lot, right? You catch in the post, what's the first thing you do? I always look middle. I always look middle just to see like what's open. And as soon as I saw our 7-footer here moving out of the way, and there was space middle, just turn middle, make the next pass. Yeah, bad spacing, but bad defense too. That was my preferred. That's where I really wanted to score from, mid-range. So I would use my 3. You've seen it. I think it was already this game where I shot that 3 down on the other end. Like, I'll shoot. I used the shot to get me open getting to the basket. I didn't want to just shoot it a ton. As my career went on, as I got older, I developed my 3-point shot a lot better, and I used my 3-pointer to open up other things. So yeah, early on I was wanting to get to the basket, but I shot enough threes just to keep them honest, so that on that closeout I could get to where I actually wanted to be, which was mid-range. And I did this a lot, especially in a zone. I learned this against a 2-3 zone mainly, but it works whenever. Anytime I saw a smaller defender. Oh, by the way, this is the team. This was my very first game overseas. It was my very first game. And when I saw these guys, I was like, oh, I'm going to have 50. They've got all ankle socks, like team full of white guys. Even their imports were white. They had 2 imports that were also white. I was like, oh, we're going to destroy these guys. They only lost, I think, 2 games. They were legit, like really good, but they could just like shoot the hell out of it. They had like all their guys could hoop. Yeah, it's just it was much different than seeing a team like this look like this in America. But one thing I learned, sorry, went on a tangent. One thing I learned is like go at the smaller player. Remember how I talked about double teams the other day? Attack the weaker defender. For me, I was like, oh, if I can get to the basket, if I can go at the smaller defender, I can just rise up over the top. I don't have to get all the way to the basket. Just get to here, and I can rise up over the shorter player. That's something I learned overseas as well. Man, he was great at finishing around the basket. This guy, this guy was one of the most athletic players I've ever been on the court with. He dunked on us so bad. I say us, it was just on my team. I wasn't there. I'm not going to put anyone's name out there, but he was a freak athlete. He's probably 6'10", 6'11", but yeah, could really jump out of the gym, just didn't show it all the time. I think he went to LSU. Yeah, it's always good when you have like a big man that can catch and finish. Sometimes you get a big man that like doesn't have good hands, makes it a little bit more difficult. I could just throw it anywhere near him and he'd catch it. Smoked the layup. But this is, remember I said I was a 3-man, so any of these like coast to coast layups, I'm like, that's still going in my highlight. Going coast to coast, I'm a 3. I'm a 4-man. And then this year is when I learned that I needed to play point, because we really struggled bringing the ball up the court. Some of these other teams were just so legit, and they would just pick on us because we couldn't get the ball up the court. So I had to move to, I started working on being a point guard because I never wanted that to happen to me again. Pick and roll. Again, I can just throw the ball anywhere and he can finish. This is something I don't recommend a lot of off the pick and roll. The way I passed this, I got better at this later in my career too, because I probably got too many turnovers doing these types of passes. But that type of pass, that little scoop, I call it a strike zone pass. Like nothing. Defenders just naturally are always going to have their hands through that space. So you don't want to be throwing the ball there often. I got that through, but it should have been a pocket pass or over the top when you're teaching kids. Another little no look pass, taking the contact, no look, drop it off to the big man. That was my favorite thing to do, was passing the ball, getting chased down blocks. Ooh, 7-footer coming in. See you, Simon. Nice. Another no look pass. Always reward the big man. I think this guy played at Kansas. He was legit too. He could fly. He was legit. No foul? There we go. Give me one. And I honestly think this game I only shot like 2 free throws. It was not a rude awakening, but yeah, like I said, it's my first game. I had to learn a lot of stuff. I also was falling out of bounds at one point, and I called a timeout, and they're like looking at me weird. You can't call. A lot of people don't know that you can't call timeouts on the court during a live play in FIBA. Like, it has to be a dead ball. The ball has to be out of bounds, or it has to be after a make. You can't call a timeout during the play. Yeah, that's what I wanted to. And you can see the spin on my shot too. Look at the spin on my shot, and we'll try to, if we see another 3-pointer, I'll show it. But just like mid-range for me was a completely different shot. Like, I can get my fingers on the laces. Like, I was doing my hang dribbles there, got comfortable. The spin is like the laces are going like perfectly straight. But then with my 3-pointer, it was just like it wanted to go sideways. So that's something I had to fix. And I changed my shot 3 times over the course of my career. So I think this was a zone. Yeah, look at my shot there. Yeah, so this was a zone. Ugh. I hate it. That one was actually, I kind of remember this. This one was actually good because he was sprinting out. I think he hits my hand as I'm shooting. Yeah, so it actually made my release go the right way. It's so funny. Like I said, this is just going to be our home court the whole time. The stands were over here. Yeah, a little mid-range. Don't notice that don't worry that I almost fell. Right hand layup on the left side, awesome. Those were very similar. Something I used to do a lot too. So I would jump off my right leg and like put the ball. I think I told this story before. I'm a 1-foot jumper, and I used to jump off my left leg all the time. And then I started getting back spasms. And it was from overuse on the left side of my body. I didn't know this at the time, but someone asked, they're like, "Oh, why don't you ever jump off your right leg?" I was like, "I don't think I can." And I just went up there and easily like dunked it 2 hands. And I realized like, oh, I like jumping off my right leg now. So then I went through this stage where I was always jumping off my right leg, but I started noticing jumping off my right leg and jumping into people, and then like hanging, finish with the left, finish with the right. So you'll see both times here, I think there's going to be contact. I jump off my right leg. And again, that's just something that now when I coach kids, now when I teach people, these are just so many of the lessons I took from my career that I teach them. I'm like, oh, when you're running sprints, don't always plant with your left foot every single time, because that's what I did. And I just got so used to it over the career. So my jab with my left was really good, but not with my right. So it's like when you're running your sprints, you should alternate. Sometimes you should plant off your left foot, sometimes plant off your right foot. Like you're developing your body to be able to perform better on the court. Being able to jump off both legs, being able to pivot off both legs, all that stuff I wish I would have done when I was younger, so I didn't have to learn it, relearn a lot of this stuff as I got older. So this team, so there was no scouting report on me yet, because like I said, this was my first game. So at first they had, again, this guy that went to Kansas, they had they had 3 imports. But they had him on me because we played like the same position, and I was doing pretty well, and they actually started putting their point guard on me. And this is what happened to me. This is what happened to me in college. This is what happened to me in college, where they would put guards on me and I always struggled. So this is something I'd worked on over the summer, and I was much more prepared for it. But yeah, I just went straight to the post and just went over the top. So even though there was 3 players there, it was pretty much a triple team. It was still, this guy's name was Damon. It was, I could just shoot over the top of Damon, and I didn't even really see the other 2. So yeah, use your advantages. I never would go out here against Damon and try to cross him up. I was like, I'm going straight to the post. And then whenever I had the bigger defender on me, I was playing out on the wing. So try to go to your advantage as much as possible. Pick and roll defense wasn't great, but they didn't do, I mean, I guess he fought through, so that was fine. So I didn't really have to help. I just hedged. It was just a bad pass, really. And honestly, this was always kind of my advantage. Again, I can guard the post players, but I wasn't really a post. So they didn't really pick on us much with pick and rolls. But I guess typically if that's a post player stepping out, that actually does look really open. But for me, I can just shoot that gap, get back to the passing lane. Again, I got a guard on me, so I went straight to the post. And having to play post my whole life kind of did prepare me for overseas a little bit. But then I had to really grind and work on my guard stuff too. But yeah, just fighting for post position. This is tough. So this is just a high-low. Typically your post players aren't going to be your best passers. So, I mean, over the top was open. Could have just thrown it. But it's like, just keep fighting for position. It's like at any point you want to throw it, buddy, just throw me the ball. That'd be nice. But I always preach this. If you can get good position, good post position, don't dribble. This isn't as close to the basket as I can get, but any dribble I take, anything I do is going to make it just tougher and give the defense an opportunity to get a steal. He just was reaching too much, so I went up and they called the foul. Oh, you can see here. I can tell how bad my handle is. Look how much I look down at the ball whenever I start dribbling. Hey, little hook pass. Oh, those are the best. Again, no foul call. This is the best. I just got a rebound. I just got a rebound down on this way. I got a rebound down on that end. Now I'm going coast to coast, get a pass, opportunity for an assist. Don't get it, but then I get another rebound, 2 points. As an import, as someone who, like, it matters, your stats kind of matter, it's your job now, that feels really good. Get 2 rebounds, 2 points in like a 10-second span. All right, another pick and roll. Again, this is similar. Always go to the weaker defender. So he didn't hedge hard enough, and I actually didn't do a great job off this pick and roll. But the guard has kind of got through now, and now the big has stayed with me. So I just keep going. I'm like, all right, I'll just try to beat the big to the spot. The defender that was in the gap here reached in, but I jump stopped over or under. I'm not sure. Yeah, just jump stop. take the contact. Nice. Again, just battling for position. I wish this was the same kind of player as YouTube. I need to find a better. But yeah, I'm just trying to fight for position. We get back to that high-low. And again, it's open. Oh, he does throw it. Nice. And again, no dribble. And technically shouldn't have brought it down either, but I hated my shot back then. So I was our 4-man. So I was the 4. I guess right now I'm the 3 because we got 6'8" or 6'8", 7 foot, 6'9", 7 foot. I'm 6'5". So we've got our. They put me down in the book though as being like 6'8" as well. But I was not a guard. I was always, I could handle the ball, but I was never allowed to play guard, if that makes sense. So there were a lot of opportunities in my career where this would happen. This is their point guard. I actually ended up playing with him this next season. This was their point guard. So the point guard sees me being the 4-man and it's like, oh, I'll just pressure up. So I would drive or I would dribble around people when it was the right decision to make, but I never was the guy that would just bring the ball up the court and set up the play and then break people down. I didn't really do that until like my 3rd, 4th, 5th season, stuff like that. But just because he pressured, I was able to get around. So I think that's the part of me where I'm like, if a coach would have just coached me earlier on when I was younger and let me know like how to put the pressure on the defense and how to handle specific situations, I would have probably done a lot better early in my career. And I don't mean professional career, I just mean like high school, and I was always just stuck in the post. So I clearly was able to dribble around people, but I was just never allowed to. So that's why when I coach now, I try to not pigeonhole players. I try not to put them in specific positions until you really find out what they can do. And then you're like, okay, this is where you can best help the team. This is where you can best do this. But you still want to, especially in drills, like allow everyone to do everything and develop everything. Yeah, basic layup for me, the midi. Yeah, this is nice too. Like just having post players that can literally just vertical. That's something. I was always our post player, so it felt good to be overseas and playing where I'm like, oh, we have guys that I can drop it off to and they'll just go up and dunk it. Oh, we have guys I can kick out to and they'll hit threes. It was fun. Again, like, have you guys seen any crazy moves? Like everything's been like pretty basic, pretty fundamental, right? Dribble to the elbow, pull up. Two feet in the key, kick out. Nice, my boy. Daza. I think this is shot clock winding down. Or halftime maybe. But yeah, that was definitely my go-to. This brings back good memories. You know what? I'm glad I'm watching. This brings back great memories. Let's get in there and rebound. I was speaking to one of you the other day. When you get an offensive rebound, you either kick it out straight away or you go back up. That's it. Man, that same crossover every time, right? Hang dribble to the right and then cross to the left. And then once I saw it was like too crowded in there, just a little step back to get a little space. Not really much space, but we'll take it. I probably should have threw that a little sooner. Ugh, it's so flat. It's so flat. I hate it. I think this was this might have been the last game of the season. So that's why I'm like dribbling the ball a little bit more. No screen. I don't want it. And again, for me, because I was always trying to bulldoze to the basket, full speed right, full speed left. So you can see the defender is just like constantly backing up. So now I can just at any time like do that little pull up. I think that's probably why I like Zay's game so much, because it reminds me of a lot of the shots that I take. Again, we talk about this a ton now. As soon as you get the rebound, take off. Like, yeah, even like as soon as I got that rebound, gone. And that's the entire thing that gives us our transition. Like, I'm already ahead of 3 players. A little floater. 20 pixels? Jesus. It was filmed on a rock. Snatch, give me that. Yeah, so it's a luxury. Have 7-footers, they'll just run the court. That's a 7-footer. Moving. Everybody has this play as a kid, right? Screen. My coach was like, we're gonna have this play. I'm telling you, this was overseas. We had this play. It's just a screen and we put it in. Just a closeout, I guess. Nice. A little bit of defense here, fighting through the screens on the weak side. So I'm the captain defender, but then let's see who I'm guarding here. Am I guarding a shooter? Yeah, I think guarding a shooter who's curling over the elbow. He probably should have been far tighter on that screen, but we did have help in the middle, so maybe that's why he didn't. But yeah, I just fight through and able to get the block. I remember this. I was actually supposed to set a screen on this play. It's so crazy. This was 14 years ago or something. And I remember all, as I'm saying these, I remember all these plays. I was supposed to go set a screen. I think we were going to have our point guard come up through this double screen. And I just popped out just because. Honestly, I think that was at the end of the game too. I think it was tied. Again, just now you guys can see why my channel name is the Midrange, right? Why that was always my nickname. Hey. Nice highlight there. Offensive rebound. Nice. Oh, and I think that's it. Yeah, this is just first play again. I mean, if you guys just want to see me dunk it again. I didn't have a ton of dunks actually my first year. Obviously I had like a lot more, but since we only have the home games, and this is probably the half the season. Again, we just didn't video. We didn't have access to video like we do nowadays. But yeah, that was fun to watch. That was super fun. Let me know what you guys think is even worth watching these. Like I said, I've been getting a few comments, and I said I'd eventually do it, and I was like, you know what, might as well rip the band-aid off, get it over with. It's kind of cringy watching it, especially like watching my shot. I don't like the way it looks, because I know how much time I've put into it. Again, over that career, the 9 years I played overseas, worked on making it better. Dribbling, I don't like how I was so right hand dominant in this, but even just other things that I'm noticing. I had hair for one, but other things, just the way I pass, the types of passes I make, the types of the way I come off of screens wasn't very good. but it was still, yeah, super fun to watch and nostalgic, I guess. So yeah, thank you guys for recommending that, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next video.